When I found that post revealing my address, my office, and my boyfriend's home address, I freaked out.
Regardless of the age, we've found that young and old women are talked about sexually.
Wars are waged not only on the battlegrounds, but through information and propaganda. Since the February 2021 coup, both the military and the opposition have carried out online attacks on opponents. But research suggests women in particular are targeted, and pro-military channels are the worst culprits. Hello and welcome to Doh Athan, a weekly podcast about human rights stories from Myanmar. It's brought to you by Fondation Hirondelle. This episode is produced by freelance Doh Athan journalist Kin Nimpyu So. Names and voices may have been changed to protect contributors.
When I faced attacks for the first time, I cried 2 or 3 times and just took to my bed. I didn't even want to use the internet anymore. I shut it all down. I couldn't even eat or drink.
Ma May Mon is only 20 years old. She became ill and was bedridden for a month after she became the target of politically motivated and misogynistic harassment online. Before February 2021, Ma May Mon was studying at university and dreaming of becoming a successful businesswoman. But after the military coup, she joined the protests and then became active in fundraising for the Civil Disobedience Movement, or CDM, and anti-military resistance forces. This is how she became a target for pro-military groups. They commented on her Facebook posts and spread rumours on Telegram channels. They used insulting language, sexualising her, accusing her of having previously had a husband, or of only supporting the resistance to get a boyfriend. There were even accusations of a financial scandal. Ma May Mon was traumatized by this experience. Worse still, some of her extended family support or even work for the military regime, and they all believed the lies and rumours they read. This has led to a rift between her and her family.
My relatives and families still blame me. I'm still receiving criticism and attacks, to the point where they cut me out of their will. It's like they abandoned me, since I'm the only one doing these things in the family. But I have no regrets.
Some have experienced worse online harassment. Majuju is a 24-year-old nurse who joined the CDM after the coup. She then became an active member of the General Strike Coordination Body and was active on social media. Pro-military groups responded not just by insulting and trolling her, but by sharing a sex video which they claimed involved her. It actually involved a woman who looked like her. The groups then publicly shared her address, a practice known as doxing. Majuju was devastated.
When I found that post revealing my address, my office, and my boyfriend's home address, I freaked out. I called up my friends in tears. I was clueless and didn't know what to do. I was shocked. My boyfriend was also scared and embarrassed. We didn't go to work, and then we quit our jobs. We stayed away from home.
She was right to be scared. Doxxers not only reveal addresses of their opponents, but a survey by Myanmar Witness last year found that over a quarter of posts call for their arrest or punishment. And they found cases where doxing is believed to have led to arrests. The survey found that at least half of the abusive posts were doxing women in retaliation for their political views or actions. In a separate report, Myanmar Witness found 20 people who were doxed after showing sympathy with the victims of the Pasigi airstrike in April last year. And of those 20, 11 were later arrested. This incident has had a serious effect on Majuju's life and well-being. She and her boyfriend felt they had to leave their jobs and families and move to another part of Myanmar. But she still doesn't feel safe.
Since moving away, I haven't been able to sleep at night. I feel overwhelmed. It's not messing with me physically, but mentally. I can't sleep. I can only sleep from around 5 or 6 in the morning. Even now, I can't sleep through the whole night. I'm just passing time.
The Beautifiers of Diversity Network monitors fake news, hate speech and attacks on social media. A spokesperson for this group, Ma May Mon, says the worst offenders have been pro-military telegram channels Han Yen U, Kakahan and Josua.
Most women are attacked sexually by the SAC side. For instance, they mainly attack and criticize Doh Athan for choosing a foreigner as her spouse. Regardless of the age, we've found that young and old women are talked about sexually.
But sadly, it's not just the SAC side which is carrying out this kind of abuse. Nan Momo, a spokesperson from the Women's League of Burma, said supporters of the Spring Revolution have also attacked pro-military women and those who didn't participate in the CDM.
We see from both sides that women are attacked using sexually offensive cartoons, accused through the spread of fake news and hate speech. Democrats attack non-CDM teachers the most, and military lobbyists sexually harass women in the revolutionary forces.
Atta suffered social media harassment as well. But she's also experienced it firsthand from the Spring Revolution side. She's a transgender woman and LGBT activist who took part in protests against the coup and then fled to the jungle. She went through military training with resistance forces, which she says was at times very uncomfortable.
When
I first arrived at military training, I faced harassment. When someone identifies as LGBT, people tend to think about matters in bed. They assume we are constantly preoccupied with or indulging in sexual activities. With that thought in mind, they think we are easy and they will make advances or try to seduce us.
As an LGBT activist, Atta has dealt with a lot of sexual harassment and discriminatory treatment over the years. She's spoken out, taken part in discussions, worked in advocacy and made films about the issue. But even she is unsettled when it happens to her. And she'd hoped for better from people on the resistance side. Research suggests most of the online abuse is coming from military supporters. In the Myanmar Witness report, it was more than 90%, and their purpose seems to be to get politically active women to stop their activities or censor themselves. It has not had that effect on any of the women who spoke to Doh Athan. Even 20-year-old Ma May Mon is carrying on with her work and her mission.
I will do what I have to do. In the jungle, it's not just girls. Even guys get hit too with those fake account people saying inappropriate things to them. If this happens, we talk it out, get some laughs, treat it like a joke, and then forget it. I've got to keep using the internet as I'm working in logistics support, and I can ignore such things.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Doh Athan. We'd welcome your feedback on social media. This project on human rights reporting is supported by Fondation Hirondelle with the help of our donors. You can listen to our podcast via the Doh Athan Facebook page. They can also be found on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes and Spotify. You can also listen every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. and Sunday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. on Voice of America Radio. Please tune in again next week.